off the heels of the greatest Super Bowl of all time, we welcome you to another edition of Strictly Sports. Hello, friends. It's Anthony Floyo here with you. Another show on tap here. Joined by Michael Bullock here, waiting on good old MF Michael Fletcher. Hold on a minute. I think I might have gotten a message here. Hold on. Oh, okay. MF's going to be joining us in just a moment. So just got a message from him. So yeah. So loaded show here tonight. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2017. We'll also recap the NFL honors, talk about our best Super Bowl ads, Michael Vick's retirement, and trying to think what else that was on the docket. Just bear with me for a moment as I pull this up. Okay. Yep, St. Louis Cardinals hacking case, Zach Levine out with a torn ACL, preview of UFC 208, Claude Julien fired by the Boston Bruins, and the NHL Power Rankings. But before we start, a legendary sports figure passed away earlier this evening. Mike Ilitch, best known as the owner of the Detroit Red Wings and the Detroit Tigers, passed away today at the age of 87. I was with Michael Bullock earlier this evening for a boys' night out, and as we were riding home, we heard it. We were listening to the sports radio, and it came on during that. Um, the host of the show, announced that Mike Ilitch had passed away. So we're going to dedicate this show to the memory of one Mike Ilitch, and thoughts and prayers out to his wife Marion and the rest of the family and his friends and his colleagues, and those great Red Wing teams in the '90s and the 2000s that won Stanley Cups, and Tigers got to a couple World Series under him, and yeah, so he will surely be missed, and one of the great owners in sports, and we want to take a moment and dedicate this show tonight to the memory of Mike Ilitch. So this one's for you, boss. So with that being said, let's dive on in to this show. Last Saturday night, as part of NFL honors, the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2017 were announced, and here are the inductees in alphabetical order: Morton Anderson, Terrell Davis, Kenny Easley, Jerry Jones, Jason Taylor, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Kurt Warner. Oh, did I mark when Kurt Warner's name was called? Someone that I have taken a tremendous liking to over the years. And, Morton Anderson, what a great kicker he was, journeyman kicker. Played for 5 different teams, including one team twice, with the New Orleans Saints from 82 to 94, with the Atlanta Falcons 95 to 2000, with the Giants in 2001, Kansas City Chiefs 02 to 03, Minnesota in 2004, and then another stint in Atlanta in 06, 07. Was drafted in 1982 out of Michigan State, born in Copenhagen, Denmark. First team All-American, 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first team All-Pro, 2-time Golden Toe Award. Was on the All-Decade team in the 80s and the 90s. Michigan State Athletics Hall of Fame in 2011. New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame in 2009. Greater New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame 2013. Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in 2011. The all-time leading scorer in NFL history with 2,544 points, 565 field goals made, 709 attempted, and played in 382 games. and he was also 849 out of 859 on extra points. So, yeah, of course, his greatest claim to fame, no question about that. January of 1999 with the Atlanta Falcons, kicked the game-winning field goal against Minnesota that sent the Atlanta Falcons to their first Super Bowl appearance in one of the great upsets in NFC Championship game history. I mean, the Vikings were heavily favored to win that game, but wow, one of the great upsets, and he was the one who pioneered it with that great field goal. So congratulations indeed, Morten Andersen. Great kicker, I gotta tell you, he was a very good kicker, fun to watch. Terrell Davis, out of Long Beach State, Georgia. 196 pick in the sixth round in 95. Played from 1995 to 2001 with the Denver Broncos. Two-time Super Bowl champion, MVP of Super Bowl 32, three-time Pro Bowler, three-time first-team All-Pro, NFL MVP in 98, and rightfully so. He had over 2,000 yards that year. Two-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year, AFC Player of the Year, NFL rushing yards leader, two-time NFL rushing touchdowns leader, all-decade team in the 90s, Denver Broncos Ring of Fame, and, of course, this Hall of Fame induction. 7,607 career rushing yards, 4.6 a carry, 60 rushing touchdowns, including, of course, 3 in Super Bowl 32 that led the Broncos to the first of their now 3 Super Bowl championships. He was there for the first 2, wasn't there for the last one, of course. So, yeah, TD, just a shame. I mean, injuries cost him his career. I mean, he had to retire. I think he was before the age of 30. And, you know, as the old saying goes, it is what it is. I mean, injuries are an intricate part of the game. And, you know, arthroscopic surgery on both knees and retired during the 0-2 preseason, and that was it. So, but what a career he had. This was another guy that I enjoyed watching, you know. Very fun, no doubt about it. I mean, very speedy. And, you know, those Bronco teams in the 90s, oh boy, were they fun to watch. So they were a high-scoring bunch. I mean, him, John Elway, and Rod Smith, and that great defense. And, yeah, so congratulations, Terrell Davis. Great career for him. And then from there, Kenny Easley, which is the senior inductee. Usually they have a senior committee inductee. He played for the Seattle Seahawks from 1981 to 1987. Fourth pick in the 1981 draft. Strong safety, 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro, NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 1984, 1980s All-Decade Team, Seahawks Ring of Honor, Seattle Seahawks 35th Anniversary Team, Hall of Fame inductee, and a 3-time consensus All-American at UCLA. 32 career interceptions, totaling 538 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also had 8 sacks in his illustrious career. So, great career for him. Of course, injuries and illnesses, like I said, intricate part, and he had to retire because of an injury, an illness. Diagnosed with idiopathic nephrotic syndrome, a severe kidney disease and that was history. So, but he would get a new kidney, so thankfully that all worked out for him. So, yeah, had to retire around 88. So, yeah. Now I don't know much about this guy because he was, because he played before any of us were born, but Kenny Easley, senior inductee into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, great career in Seattle in the 80s. So we want to congratulate him on his induction. Jerry Jones, of course, one of the most polarizing figures in all of sports. I mean, the president, and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Under his leadership, they won three. He won 3 Super Bowls. 2014 NFL Executive of the Year. Also won the 1964 FWAA National Championship. But he's done an outstanding job. He also won the ESPY Award as part of the Outstanding Team in '93, and NFF Gridiron Club of Dallas Distinguished Texan Award, Horatio Alger Award, Ducks Unlimited, and the whole 9 yards. So, they won 3 Super Bowls, a lot of division titles, and NFC championships. Back when they had the triplets, of course, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, also Daryl Moose Johnston, and 2 different coaches with Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer. And he's been their owner since he purchased them on February 25th of 1989. $140 million. He bought them from H.R. Bum Bright. And then he fired Tom Landry. And Jimmy Johnson was his former teammate at the University of Arkansas. You learn something new every day. I never even knew that. And then fired Tex Schramm. And then, well, rest is history. I mean, in particular, he was decisive in securing Fox as the NFC's primary broadcaster at a time when the traditional Big Three networks are trying to coerce the league into accepting a rollback in TV rights fees. And the increased television revenues have played a decisive role in securing the NFL's place as the world's richest sports league, with revenues of well over $10 billion per season. Very controversial, no doubt about it. One of the more polarizing figures in all of sports, but when you look at what he's done with the Dallas Cowboys, like him or not, you can't help but respect him. So yes. So Jerry Jones, congratulations to him. Jason Taylor, and I know this is going to bring a tear to MF's side. Jason Taylor, Miami Dolphins. Man, oh man, what can you say about this guy? I mean, 6'6", 244-pounder, defensive end and linebacker, drafted as the 73rd pick in the 3rd round in '97 out of Akron. 3 different stints with the Miami Dolphins. Started with the Dolphins '97 to '07, then was a Washington Redskin in 2008, went back to the Dolphins in 2009, was a New York Jet in 2010, and then retired as a Miami Dolphin in 2011. 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro, won the prestigious Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year in 2007, 2006 Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time AFC Defensive Player of the Year, 2002 led the league in sacks, All-Decade Team in the 2000s, Miami Dolphin Honor Roll, Hall of Famer, and a 2-time first-team All-MAC in '95 and '96 when he was at Akron. Records and ranks. He holds the record for the most career fumble recoveries for touchdowns with 6, most career interceptions returned for touchdowns by a D lineman, 3, most career defensive touchdowns by a D lineman, 9, most career opponent fumble recoveries, 29, tied with Jim Marshall. Second most career forced fumbles, 48. Only Robert Mathis has more at 52. Second most career interceptions by a D lineman, 8, tied with Chris Dolman and Richard Dent. 775 career tackles, 139.5 quarterback sacks, 8 interceptions, 48 forced fumbles, 29 fumble recoveries, 9 touchdowns. Oh, my Buffalo Bills would play those Miami Dolphins in the 90s and the 2000s. He made life for Buffalo a living hell. I am not going to lie. But then again, he did that against anybody he played. Patriots, what have you. I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with. I mean, him and his brother-in-law, Zach Thomas, and I know MF's going to wax poetic on that when we get to him. But nonetheless, Jason Taylor, I hated what you did to my Bills just as much as Bullock hated what you did to his Patriots. But nonetheless, we salute you and we congratulate you on your induction, your well-deserved induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. LaDainian Tomlinson, 2001 fifth pick in the first round out of TCU. San Diego Chargers 2001 to 2009, New York Jets 2010 and 11. Five-time Pro Bowler, three-time first-team All-Pro, three-time second-team All-Pro, 2006 NFL MVP, NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 06. Also won the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award in 06. Led the league in rushing yards twice, 06 and 7. Three-time rushing touchdowns leader, 04, 06, and 07. 2000s All-Decade team. Is number 21 of the Chargers, retired. San Diego Chargers Hall of Fame. Consensus All-American 2000. Two-time first-team All-WAC. Two-time WAC Offensive Player of the Year. And his number 5 was retired by TCU. Set an NFL record with 28 rushing touchdowns in 2006. 31 touchdowns from scrimmage. And 18 consecutive games with a touchdown. Retired with a total of 13,684 yards rushing. An average of 4.3 a carry, 145 rushing touchdowns, 624 receptions, 4,772 yards, and 17 receiving touchdowns. I have an LT memory, and I think MF knows where I'm going with this. I had him over my house one time. He was on my fantasy team. First year I started doing fantasy football. San Diego Chargers in a game against the Washington Redskins. Had like 160, 170 something yards, 3 touchdowns. And I was at the point where I just fell back and I was like, oh no, I can't believe it. And then MF was like, get up. Oh, I'll never forget it. I mean, it was one of the great memories that I have back in November of 2005. I think that was on the day of the Survivor Series when I had you over for that, MF. And I know you'll reiterate that story when I get to you. But man, oh man, LT, so fun to watch. That 2006 Charger team, 14-2, lost in the divisional round to Bullocks Patriots, and rest is history. I mean, and then he went to the Jets, got to a couple more AFC Championship games, but unfortunately, neither one went his way. Well, 2010 they lost to the Steelers. 2011 I don't believe they made it. So. But nonetheless, LaDainian Tomlinson, of course, now a part of the NFL Network, where he's an analyst. He does a great job on that. So LT, congratulations to you. And last but not least, my man, Kurt Warner. Needless to say, I mean, when I was watching NFL Honors, I had absolutely no idea. When I was watching the NFL Honors last Saturday night, I had no idea who these inductees were. Honest to goodness. When I saw Kurt Warner come out, I lost it. I marked. I'm not going to lie, because I had a big thing for this guy. I absolutely loved this guy when he was so fun to watch, mainly because of what he did with the Rams. But we'll get to him. He was undrafted in 94. Was with the Green Bay Packers offseason in our practice squad in 94. Then he was with the Iowa Barnstormers 95 to 97. Amsterdam Admirals in 98, a part of the now defunct NFL Europe. St. Louis Rams 1998 to 2003. New York Giants 2004. And then the Arizona Cardinals from 2005 to 2009. Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 34. Was also the MVP of that Super Bowl. 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time NFL MVP in 99 and 01. Another Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award recipient in 2008. Burt Bell Award in 99. Led the league in passing yards in 2001. 2-time NFL passing touchdowns leader in 99 and 01. Inducted into the Arizona Cardinals Ring of Honor. That's just in the NFL. In the Arena League, he was a 2-time first-team All-Arena, 96 and 97. Iowa Barnstormers Hall of Fame, Arena Football Hall of Fame. And his number 13 was retired by the Iowa Barnstormers. In the NFL, he threw 4,070 passes, 2,666 completed, 65.5% completion percentage, 208 touchdown passes, 128 interceptions, 32,344 yards, and a passer rating of 93.7. And in the Arena, 818 out of 1,320, percentage of 62. 183 touchdown passes, 43 interceptions, 10,465 yards, and a 107.84 passer rating. He came on in 1999 with the St. Louis Rams after Trent Green was injured in a preseason game against the Chargers in the Dome. We didn't know what to think. We were thinking, oh, here we go. It's going to be another dud year for this team. Oh, boy, were we wrong. They went 13-3, won the Super Bowl against Tennessee in the Georgia Dome. MF and I could tell you stories on end about that Super Bowl, and especially the finish. But nonetheless, Kurt Warner doing it again with the Rams a couple years later, Super Bowl 36. Of course, this will bring a smile to Michael Bullock's face because that's when his Patriots dynasty started in Super Bowl 36, one of the great Super Bowls of all time. Patriots winning it 20-17 in New Orleans. And then he would get to one more Super Bowl in Super Bowl 43 with the Arizona Cardinals. Came up just short against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another all-time classic Super Bowl, Shakespearean drama, the whole 9 yards. Of course, I was rooting for them to win, even though I'm an AFC guy, but, it is what it is. So, but nonetheless, all these men, congratulations to all 7 of you: Morten Andersen, Terrell Davis, Kenny Easley, Jerry Jones, Jason Taylor, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Kurt Warner. They will be officially enshrined on Saturday night, August the 5th, at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, prior to the Hall of Fame game the night after. Hopefully there will be a game this time around, and hopefully we won't have any of that field nonsense that we had which canceled the last game, but it is what it is. So congratulations, all of you. Well deserved. And we cannot wait to watch you get inducted on August 5th and take your rightful place in Canton, Ohio. We got good on MF here, Michael Fletcher. MF, let's bring you on in. I ran down all the schematics for everybody. Good to have you back. Of course, MF was unable to join us for Cerebral Smack Talk, his first missed show since we started that whole thing. I hope I did that show justice along with Dede Woodson on Tuesday night, MF. So that's all I have to say on that. So MF, let's bring you on in. The Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2017. Your thoughts, man. I mean, especially your boy, Jason Taylor.
Man. As you can tell, my voice is still not really at 100%. I'm a little raspy. Sometimes I do cough a little bit. So I do apologize if I do sound a little hoarse, but I'm still trying to get through whatever this thing I had in me, this illness or whatever it is. But good evening. I was on edge. I didn't know, like Anthony, when they were going to introduce the Hall of Fame class, there were rumors going around that certain players might have gotten in, but there was no official word until the night of the NFL honors. And, first off, when I heard LaDainian Tomlinson being the first guy out, it's Anthony, you brought up the moment. And yes, it was the night of the Survivor Series. I was at your house. We were watching some NFL football prior to that. It was during a game break, and yeah, it was when LT broke one. I think it was for like 75 or 80 yards. He broke one from scrimmage, and it was the game winner. I remember the game was in overtime, and he broke up. I think it was 75 yards. Just broke one away. And once you saw the stat line, that's when you dropped. You were like, oh, no. I'm like, get up. You're like, I can't get up. Oh, my God, LT. Then you were like begging me, how many fantasy points was that? And I remember going on a search, and I think I remember yelling it was 41 points or something like that. And you absolutely just lost your mind on that. So, yeah. But LT was deserving, man. I mean, what he did in his years and what brought him to the dance was unbelievable. Nothing bad to say. I'm so happy. Congratulations, LT. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. For Morten Andersen, dude, this guy is, I'll say this. Kickers don't really get that much love in the National Football League. And I think kickers are very rare. You hear a lot about quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, defensive players, offensive players, but normally the kickers don't get that much love. Very rare does a kicker get in, but Morten Andersen gets in. Great honor. Congratulations. Um, Nothing more to say. Then the name Jason Taylor comes up. All right. I, I I don't even know what to say. I think I said it on my Snapchat with pride and honor. I was pleased to announce that Jason Taylor is a Hall of Famer. And I know he was with the Jets. I know he was with the Redskins. All right, I get it. But he's property of the Miami Dolphins. He'll forever be a Miami Dolphin because he was there through the good years and the bad years. He was there when we made it to the playoffs, when we won the AFC Eastern Division Championship. We was there for all the stuff. And let me tell you guys, the defense of the Dolphins was the bloodline of that Dolphin D. Him and Zach Thomas, and I truly believe in my heart that Zach Thomas will be a Hall of Famer. I think he's eligible. I don't know if it's next year or the year after. But whatever the case may be, he deserves it. And as a matter of fact, on a side note, the host of Undisputed on Fox Sports 1, that beautiful baby girl, that's Jason Taylor's sister. That's Jason Taylor's sister, guys, just to give you a heads up. So yeah, yes indeed. And she was there, and you know what? I actually had a moment where I actually got to see Jason Taylor and how he found out that he got in. And what happened was, and I'll describe it because I guess I could give you this inside information from a Miami Dolphin fan. So what happened was, he gets a knock on the door, and he's like, "Oh heck no!" And I think it was one of his sons. I don't remember. I think it was one of his kids, and they're like, "Oh my god, that thing scared me." He goes up to the door. He opens the door. It's the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he just said it. Jason's like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And all the guy just said was, "Hey, welcome to Canton. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer." They gave him the hug. He was like, "I can't believe it." He's like, "You're now a member of 310 Hall of Famers in the draft, in the family. You're now one of them. You are now one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Welcome to Canton." And then there was some legal stuff that they wanted to talk about, going downstairs, meeting with the media, walking on the field on Super Bowl Sunday. And then the Monday, they actually got fitted for their rings. They got fitted for their jackets. And then they were doing their sculpting. They were taking their face, getting their facial recognition, because they were going to start to make the clay out of the bronze statue that they're going to get presented with on the night of the Hall of Fame, which is in August. Anthony alluded to that in Canton. So they did all that stuff right then and there, and it was such a moment. I literally teared up seeing that. And then I got to see all the others. Jerry Jones, think about this. He bought the team about about $100-something million in 1970, and now the team is worth $4.6 billion. He is the reason that the Dallas Cowboys, because of either the players he got, the coaching that he recruit, and all these things, he is responsible for the Cowboys of the 90s to happen. He was responsible for the 3 Super Bowl championships that they got. Super Bowl 27, Super Bowl 28, Super Bowl 30. Those were under Jerry Jones's watch. No doubt about it. Well deserved. Great honor. Congratulations. For Easley, I didn't know much about him either, but based off the Facebook or the YouTube videos I've been watching of him, this guy was a beast. I mean, we could talk about guys like Charles Woodson. We could talk guys about, even a Devin McCourty or a Malcolm Butler for the New England Patriots, or like a Sam Madison for the Miami Dolphins, or any of the great defensive players, a Deion Sanders, something like that. That was what Easley was. He was a hard-hitting guy. He was no nonsense. He was an awesome dude. Congratulations to him. He deserved it. Terrell Davis. Yo, all I can do is this. And, Anthony. We had a love affair for the Denver Broncos back in the day, and this is all what I can do. Mile high salute. Mile high salute to you, my friend, because that's the way we used to do it way back when, during our junior high days. We were rooting for the Broncos. We'll admit it, during those Super Bowl years, and I loved Davis. I love TD because of what he brought to the table, and it was a remarkable job that he did. He was amazing, great player. Um, there's really nothing more to say. I mean, he was as amazing as you can get. An honor, a joy, a great player. And then the last guy, Anthony used to say this all the time, so forgive me if I steal the line. I love Warner. Kurt Warner. What's there to say? From a garbage guy, being a stalker at a grocery store, to Arena League, to NFL Europe, to one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, 2-time MVP, Super Bowl 34 MVP, almost was Super Bowl 43 MVP, was almost Super Bowl 43 MVP if Arizona would have won the Super Bowl, and they were right there. But there's nothing more to say. I mean, this was a great class. I got nothing bad to say. Congratulations to all the Hall of Famers. Nickel Bullock, it's all yours, my friend.
Yeah, definitely a pretty good Hall of Fame class of 2017. Yeah, I mean, Terrell Davis. I mean, and I'll be quite honest. Even though I was a Patriots fan, I enjoyed those Denver Broncos teams that won the Super Bowl. I mean, and Terrell Davis was one of the reasons. And of course, in the 1998 season, he became the 4th runner in NFL history to rush for over 2,000 yards, and he led the NFL with 21 rushing touchdowns. And of course, en route to Denver's 2nd straight Super Bowl title, and was even named the Super Bowl MVP in that first Super Bowl win for Denver, when he rushed for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, that was definitely he was definitely one of the reasons why the Broncos won those 2 Super Bowl titles. And I mean, a 3-time All-Pro selection, 7,607 yards, 60 touchdowns, and just 78 career games. And the reason why, I mean, over the final 3 seasons, a devastating knee injury limited him to just 17 games during those final 3 seasons, and was selected to 3 Pro Bowls and was named to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 90s. So, yeah, so congratulations to Terrell Davis. And, I mean, yeah, Morten Andersen. Kickers usually don't get recognized a lot, and Morten Andersen was one of those really good kickers. Whether it was, of course, it was the Falcons' career scoring leader, and he also set NFL records for career points, most field goals, games played, and his 40 field goals of 50 or more yards was the most in NFL history, and was named to 2 NFL All-Decades team. And man, I mean, definitely was one of the best kickers. And Kenny Easley, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really know that much about him, but he was a really good defensive player when he did play for the Seahawks, and was Defensive Player of the Year in 1984 after recording a league high and career best 10 picks, including a pair of pick sixes. Was named the All-Pro for 4 straight seasons, 5 Pro Bowls, a member of the All-Decades team in the 1980s. Yeah, so definitely congratulations to him. And Jerry Jones, I mean, what can you say about him? I mean, he's made Dallas one of the most successful franchises in NFL history, and was responsible for the 3 Super Bowl titles, and also they posted 10 wins in a season 12 times during the Jerry Jones era, and also led the franchise to the division titles 5 straight seasons, and then even won division crowns in 98, 2007, 2009, 2014, and of course this past season. So congratulations to him. And Jason Taylor was one of the leaders of the defense for the Miami Dolphins, and yeah, of course, was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2006 after recording 13.5 sacks and 2 picks returned for touchdowns. Also, he had 11 passes defended, 10 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 62 tackles. Was voted to 6 Pro Bowls. Was named to the first team All-Pro in 2000, 2002, and 2006, and All-AFC 4 times in 2000, 2002, 2004, and 2006. Was picked as the Dolphins' most valuable player 4 times, and it was named to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 2000s. So definitely a congratulations to him. And LaDainian Tomlinson, of course, one of the best running backs of all time. Of course, named to the. I mean, there's really nothing more to say on him. I mean, numbers speak for themselves. And of course, Kurt Warner, I mean, what can you say about him? He took 2 teams to the Super Bowl, of course, winning one with St. Louis, of course, in Super Bowl 34, losing, of course, in Super Bowl 36, and taking the Arizona Cardinals, of course, during the 2008 season. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say except congratulations to the entire class of 2017. You guys deserve it. So, nothing more to say except Florio. Let's just move on.
And we're going to move on to NFL honors. The NFL honors show went down on on Saturday night. We already know about the Hall of Fame. So here's the list of winners. AP MVP Matt Ryan, AP Coach of the Year Jason Garrett, AP Assistant Coach of the Year Kyle Shanahan, Offensive Player of the Year Matt Ryan, Defensive Player of the Year Khalil Mack, Rookie of the Year Dak Prescott. Pepsi Next Rookie of the Year was also Dak Prescott, by the way. Defensive Rookie of the Year Joey Bosa, Comeback Player of the Year Jordy Nelson, Fantasy Player of the Year David Johnson, Don Shula High School Coach of the Year Award Randy Allen. Co-winners of the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, Eli Manning and Larry Fitzgerald. Matt Ryan was the FedEx Air Player of the Year. Ezekiel Elliott, FedEx Ground Player of the Year. Bridgestone Performance Player of the Year, Play of the Year, Jameis Winston and Mike Evans. Greatness on the Road Award, Le'Veon Bell. Salute to Service Award, Dan Quinn. Deacon Jones Award, Vic Beasley Jr. Art Rooney Award, Frank Gore. Castrol Edge Clutch Performer of the Year, Derek Carr. Built Ford Tough Offensive Line of the Year, the Dallas Cowboys, Travis Frederick, Doug Free, Ronald Leary, Zach Martin, Teron Smith. And, of course, you already know about the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2017 by now. So that's your list of winners from the Hall of Fame, from the NFL honors. MF, a quick thought on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be as quick as I can. With my voice and everything else being pretty hoarse. I mean, oh man, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting. Let me see if I can get this muted. I guess I won't. All right, so I'm gonna try to talk over this. And the way I feel about it, it goes like this. All right. After everything that went down, let me just give you my thoughts. For the FedEx Air and Ground, no big surprise. I think that's the right thing, the right decision to call. For the offensive rookie of the year, I got nothing bad to say. Dak Prescott probably deserves it, no doubt about it. Even though I think a lot of people would say Ezekiel Elliott should have won it, but I'm not gonna say much about that. AP Offensive Player of the Year for Matt Ryan. I mean, he had the most consistent numbers. He was unbelievable all year long. So no arguments there. Offensive line goes to the Cowboys. I mean, obviously that was gonna be the right decision. Art Rooney sportsmanship for Frank Gore. I mean, Frank Gore is one of the most lovable guys in all of the NFL. I don't think I've heard one bad thing about him. Absolutely not. So I'm down with that. For the salute to service, Dan Quinn. I mean, what he does for the troops and everything else, unbelievable job. So nothing bad to say about that. Clutch performer for Derek Carr. Yes, he's been unbelievable all year. It was a darn shame he suffered that injury towards the end of the season, because I think Oakland would have been a real dangerous team, and I think they're going to be a dangerous team next year. So just my thought about that. Assistant Coach of the Year to Kyle Shanahan. No arguments with that one. I mean, what they did with Atlanta was amazing. We'll wait and see what he does now as head coach of the 49ers next year. I don't think it's going to be much. Coach of the Year, Jason Garrett. Okay. Now, I get it why they gave it to him. I got no arguments. However, Jack Del Rio, Adam Gates, I'll even throw Bill Belichick's name in there. I think these guys were also worthy enough of being Coach of the Year. Don't get me wrong, Dallas was great, and it had an amazing season. But these other guys also had amazing seasons as well. That's the only thing I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. For Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joey Bosa, no arguments. Great decision. For the greatness on the road for Le'Veon Bell, again, no big surprise. I'm very happy for him. For Defensive Player of the Year, Khalil Mack, The only reason why Khalil Mack won this, and I'm going to be real honest with you, because if J.J. Watt did not get hurt earlier in the year, I think this would have been J.J.'s. But there was no other guy that was really amazing all season long. Defensively, a couple of people were yelling, what about Vic Beasley from Atlanta with the 11 sacks? I could say, okay, I could give you that, but Khalil Mack was the clear winner. AP, comeback player of the year, Jordy Nelson, no arguments, slam dunk win. For the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, about Eli Manning and Larry Fitzgerald, they both deserved it. So no arguments. The Bridgestone Performance Player of the Year, I mean, yeah, the Mike Evans one-handed catch. Oh my God! If you did not see that, go out of your way to watch that. And then MVP Matt Ryan. Okay, I know a lot of people were really upset with this. A lot of people were like, he should not have gotten it. I heard names like Tom Brady. I heard Aaron Rodgers. I heard Dak Prescott. I heard Ezekiel Elliott. So, I mean, the list couldn't go on and on about who was deserving of the MVP. That's an absolute crapshoot there. I mean, there wasn't no clear-cut winner this time around, so I could understand your arguments. But for me, I'm with the majority. I think Matt Ryan deserved it. I thought he was the best player. I thought he was the MVP of the league this year. So, with that said, Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with of course, when it comes to the FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Year, of course, Matt Ryan for the Atlanta Falcons and Ezekiel Elliott for the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was the right choice. I mean, Matt Ryan with what he did this year offensively, throwing for over 4,000 yards, and and basically Ezekiel Elliott for what he did in running the football this year. I mean, we knew he was good. We didn't think he'd be this good in his rookie season. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year going to Dak Prescott. I'm fine with that as well. I mean, here's a guy. We didn't know what to expect from Dak Prescott when he was named the starter over Tony Romo, but boy, he certainly made Jason Garrett look like a genius by starting him, and I got to give him credit for sticking with Dak Prescott when Tony Romo was cleared to come back. But yeah, congratulations to Dak Prescott. Of course, AP Offensive Player of the Year going to Matt Ryan. I'm not surprised about that. The Built Ford Tough Offensive Line of the Year goes to the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm not surprised with that. I mean, especially with the way they help protect Dak Prescott throughout the season. And Frank Gore getting the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award, very well deserving. Of course, Dan Quinn getting the Salute to Service Award, very deserving, especially with what he's doing for the troops. The Castrol Edge Clutch Performer of the Year, Derek Carr. I mean, what a breakout year for him. I just felt terrible for him when he ended up getting hurt. So, yeah, and the AP Assistant Coach of the Year, Kyle Shanahan, deserving, of course, with what he did offensively. Of course, Coach of the Year, Jason Garrett. I'm fine with that because with what he did for the Cowboys this season, I mean, there are a lot of guys who could have gotten it. I mean, Adam Gase, Bill Belichick, certain other coaches could have gotten it, but I'm fine with it. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joey Bosa. I'm fine with that as well. Courtyard's Greatness on the Road Award, Le'Veon Bell. I'm fine with that as well. And the Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack. I mean, very well deserving. And what a year he had defensively, just edging out Von Miller. Comeback Player of the Year, Jordy Nelson, certainly deserving, especially after missing all of last season with a torn ACL. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. I agree. I mean, after hearing a lot about Eli Manning and Larry Fitzgerald, they certainly both deserve it. The Bridgestone Performance Player of the Year with the Buccaneers wideout Mike Evans' one-handed catch against the Falcons. And of course, the MVP, Matt Ryan. I think they made the right choice in that one as well. So that's my thoughts on it. So, Flory, what's yours?
Yeah, congratulations to all the winners. No question about it. I agree with the MVP. I mean, Matt Ryan deserved it. I mean, easily could have made an argument for Aaron Rodgers, but major what if file. What if Tom Brady doesn't get suspended? What would have happened? Would he have had the numbers and the offensive firepower to overtake Matty Ice? I don't know. We'll see. Coach of the Year. I mean, I can understand why they would give it to Garrett. I mean, a great year with Dallas, but honestly, if you want my honest opinion, it should have been Jack Del Rio. I mean, look what he did in Oakland. I mean, the Raiders. How many years have the Raiders been awful?
And I agree. And I agree with that. I think Del Rio was definitely deserving. But you could also make a case for Andy Reid as well from Kansas City.
Of course. I mean, Andy Reid leading the Chiefs to a divisional title and the number 2 seed in the AFC. Absolutely. Who knows how much further the Raiders would have gone if Derek Carr doesn't get hurt on Christmas Eve against Indy. If he doesn't get hurt, I really don't know if we'd be talking about the Patriots as Super Bowl champions right now. But, it is what it is. But in my opinion, Del Rio should have won it. But what he did with the Raiders, getting into the playoffs for the first time in what seems like forever and a day. So I respect Garrett, but I don't think he should have won that award. It should have been Del Rio. Assistant Coach of the Year, no, it was Shanahan. I mean, up until the Super Bowl, he had a wonderful season. I mean, he led the Falcons to 540 points scored, which led the league. And up until the Super Bowl, though, when he had such horrific play calling. Bullock and I, we talked about it earlier during our boys' night out earlier. I mean, he wasn't reading from a playbook, friends. No, he was reading from a new book called Play Calling for Stupid Idiots and Muttonheads, because he was clearly a stupid idiot and a muttonhead for a lot of those horrific calls. Run the ball, son. That's all you had to do. You had one job, and you blew it. But other than that, wonderful work. That's all I can say about that. All right, let's see. Matt Ryan, Offensive Player of the Year. Well, I can understand. I mean, that was very tough. I mean, you had him, you had Rodgers, Prescott, Elliott. I mean, it could have gone anyway, but they gave it to Ryan. Defensive Player of the Year, Mac, after what he did in Oakland, absolutely. Vic Beasley, 15 and a half sacks, not 11 MF. And Von Miller. I mean, he's another one who you could have made an argument for. And I agree, if Watt doesn't get hurt, probably Watt wins it again. Prescott winning the Pepsi Next Rookie of the Year as well as the Offensive Rookie of the Year. It was a tough call. It was either him or Elliott. Honestly, I think they both should have won the award. I think they should have had co-winners. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joey Bosa. Yeah, I agree with that. He had a very good year for San Diego, one of the few bright spots on that team. Jordy Nelson, Comeback Player of the Year, absolutely. Look at the year he had for Green Bay. David Johnson, Fantasy Player of the Year. Don't know much about the High School Coach of the Year, but I'm sure he deserved it. Eli and Fitzgerald, well-deserved for the Man of the Year award. I think it's only the third time in the awards history they've had co-winners. Matty Ice with the FedEx Air Player. Zeke Elliott with the Ground Player. Agree. The Player of the Year absolutely was the Evans catch for Tampa on that Thursday night. I agree with that. Le'Veon Bell, on the road. That snowy day in Buffalo 2 months ago. Oh, he torched Buffalo, man. He torched them good. I think they had like 230-something yards, 3 scores in that one. Oof. Dan Quinn, I mean, it's well documented, his salute to service. I mean, a proud supporter of the United States military, as so many of us are, as everyone should be. Vic Beasley Jr. with the Deacon Jones Award. I believe that goes to the sack leader. Frank Gore with the Art Rooney Award. That's like the sportsmanship award. I can understand why they give it to him. Derek Carr, Clutch Performer of the Year. That was another tough one. I mean, you could have made an argument for a Ryan or a Prescott or Elliott, but or Rodgers, especially after that whole we'll run the table thing. Offensive line, hands down, it was Dallas. Dallas had the best offensive line in the NFL this year. I don't care what anybody says. And then the Hall of Fame, we already got into that. So, yeah, indeed. So congratulations to all the winners. And now we're going to talk about the Super Bowl commercials. I mean, what were the best ones? Michael Bullock, let's start off with you.
If you don't mind, Florio, I like to pass on this one because I really wasn't that much into the Super Bowl commercials. I really didn't pay attention that much.
I mean, there wasn't really that many good commercials, Anthony. Not this year, not that I thought of. There was the NFL one where they had like the little babies when they had like the baby Dicka, the baby Joe Namath. That was actually a pretty cool one. But there wasn't really that many good Super Bowl commercials this year. Not that I know. And I was hanging out with Megan Silva during Super Bowl Sunday, and even she was saying that this was a really down year for commercials. So, unfortunately, for us to hit us with something really good, sorry, guys. I thought this year was a horrible year for commercials. There wasn't really that many good ones this year. Just honest.
Understandable. For me, there was one that stood out to me, the yearbook with the celebrities in the yearbook. I mean, I kind of like that one, honestly. I mean, I took a liking to that one a little bit. And but yeah, with all due respect, I mean, when it comes to the Super Bowl, who really watches for the commercials anyway? We only watch it for the game itself. And I agree with MF. I mean, a lot of them were stupid.
And the well, there are some people that actually do watch just for the commercials, like the non-football fans. For like myself, Anthony, Bullock, and Derek, and all the guys, we were just there to focus on the game because that's our job.
Exactly.
We have to do it. You know, for me and Anthony, we were working on that Sunday, but for the rest of the guys, you know, it could have been about the halftime show. Well, I hope we get into the halftime show. Holy cow! Please.
Yeah,
that was one of the best ones. I mean, what Lady Gaga did, I kind of had to say it. 27 was the greatest in my mind with Michael Jackson. 35 was awesome. We had NSYNC, Aerosmith, Britney, that whole crew. Then you had probably the ones I thought Bruce Springsteen 43 was awesome. I thought Prince in 41 was freaking amazing. I didn't really care much about some other ones. Katy Perry was good, but Beyonce 47 I thought was amazing. Bruno Mars when he did in 49 with Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anthony, we know that one personally because we saw it. But Gaga took it to a whole new level, man. I mean, good luck trying to get to follow her for next year's Super Bowl halftime show in Minneapolis. Good luck because Gaga tore that house down on Sunday. She was amazing from like visually, like visual effects and the whole 9 yards, pyrotechnics and everything. It was without a doubt probably one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows I've ever seen.
Yes, I agree, 100%. I mean, I went as far as to say it was the greatest one I ever saw, and but you know, yeah, I mean, we like MF said, we we cared more for the game than the commercials itself. But you know, it is what it is. So but yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, there were a lot of down ones. Some of the best. I mean, that 2017 Ford Go Further commercial, the Ford, the Stranger Things movie trailer, the Mr. Clean. That was kind of got a laugh out of that. That T-Mobile commercial and that Budweiser Born the Hard Way. I mean, those were a few of the good ones out there. But for me, the one that really did it for me was the yearbook one, where you had some of your favorite celebrities like Tina Fey and Steve Carell, and who were in the yearbook. I mean, I kind of got a kick out of that one, if I'm gonna be real honest. So, other than that, though, I agree. So, let's move on to our next deal here, and we'll have Michael Bullock started off here. Michael Vick officially announcing his retirement from the NFL. All right, Bullock. Now let's get your thoughts on this.
I mean, what can you say about Michael Vick? I mean, he's had an up and down career. I mean, some were good, some were bad. Of course, yeah. Of course, let me just bring up everything on Michael Vick. But of course, one of the most downside was that whole dog incident thing. Yeah, I'm not going to get into anything on that because, yeah, I could care less about it. I mean, everything. I mean, he was with the Falcons from 2001 to 2006. Then was with the Philadelphia Eagles from 2009 to 2013. In 2014, and the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2015. Of course, was named the NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2010, and has records for most rushing yards by a quarterback in a career with 6,109 rushing yards and 1,039 rushing yards by a quarterback in the season. And yeah, of course, excuse me. I mean, yeah. I mean, what can you say? I mean, definitely. Of course, for his career overall, of course, passed for 22,464 yards with 133 touchdowns and 88 interceptions and 36 rushing touchdowns as well. Of course, the 1 year, of course, it was in 2004. He led the Atlanta Falcons to the NFC title game. Of course, they ended up losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, that year he passed for 2,313 yards with 14 touchdowns and 12 picks, and he added 902 yards of rushing and 3 touchdowns, and led the Falcons with an 11-5 record. So, and he made his third Pro Bowl, of course, in 2005 and 2006. He became the first quarterback ever to rush for over 1,000 yards, and of course he joined the Eagles for the 2009 season, and then of course 2010, of course, he basically led the had a pretty good year with the with the Philadelphia Eagles, but ever since then it's been a little bit downhill. But basically, I mean, it's been sort of a so-so career for him. So that's pretty much all I can say on Michael Vick. So, Florio, what's yours?
Yes, just had to. I found a funny photo that I showed on Facebook, and I'm going to share with you guys after. But nonetheless, Michael Vick, number one overall pick in 2001 out of Virginia Tech. Like Bullock said, 4 teams: Atlanta, Philadelphia, the Jets, Pittsburgh. 4-time Pro Bowler, Comeback Player of the Year in 2010, Archie Griffin Award in 99, Big East Offensive Player of the Year in 99, Big East Rookie of the Year in 99, 6,109 rushing yards in his career, an NFL record, 1,039 yards rushing, 133 touchdowns, 88 interceptions, 22,464 passing yards, a rating of 80.5, 6,109 rushing yards, and 36 rushing touchdowns. Had his most success with the Atlanta Falcons from 01 to 06. Had some playoff appearances. And, of course, got to the NFC Championship game and at one time. And, unfortunately, he's going to be known for the dogfighting nonsense. But, I honestly just want to remember him as he was on the field. And there's a young man who's a part of my church family. His name is Josh Avery, who's definitely a young man with a tremendous future. And he loves dual. He told me that he loves dual threat quarterbacks, and that's exactly what Michael Vick was. And I know, and I think I remember him telling me one time that he loved Michael Vick. We loved watching Michael Vick play. I mean, he loves the dual threat quarterbacks. He said if he's even a player, he would be a dual threat quarterback. And where me, I'm just a flat out gunslinger. Yeah, that's what I would be. I like the gunslingers more, but I mean, he was a great runner, great passer. I mean, say what you want about him, but he'll go down as one of the best players to never win a Super Bowl. I mean, he got close that one time, 2004, I believe it was, with Atlanta before they lost to Philadelphia in the NFC Championship. And great career. Unfortunately, his off the field antics, he'll be forever known for that, unfortunately. But we do want to wish him the best in his retirement. And I don't know what's next for him. Maybe he could be another analyst. I mean, NFL Network always finds these analysts. I mean, like NFL Network, ESPN, Fox, or something. I don't know. But Bullock ran it down. I ran it down. So enjoy your retirement, Michael Vick, and a solid career. This could have gone better for him. I just wish that whole ugly dogfighting incident never happened. And as much of a dog lover as I am, I was very much offended by that, and I lost any respect I had for him. I mean, before that, I had no problem with the guy. I used to love watching him, but when that whole thing went down, I lost all respect for him, honest to God. But, it is what it is. So, MF, quick word on Michael Vick's retirement.
I think I'm with you guys on that one. He was such a dynamic player, an unbelievable performer. When he was on the field, he was the most electrifying guy I've ever seen in my lifetime. Unfortunately, he did get done in by the dogfighting scandal. He did serve his time. He was in jail for a few years, and then the injuries really hurt his career as well. It never really got back to that same electrifyingness that he did back in the Atlanta days. So it's a darn shame. I mean, I thought he had this aura about him that he could have been one of the all-time greats in the NFL. When we talk about dual threat quarterbacks, Steve McNair, there's not that many guys like a Randall Cunningham or a Dante Culpepper, those guys that could run and pass and do it both with ease and with effort. You know, it's just a darn shame. My heart breaks for Michael Vick, but sometimes things in your life, things in your career, you got to own up to what you do. And but he did. Um, he served the time. Trying to make amends for what he did. The and rightfully so. But I wish him nothing but the best. So yeah, so on it's upward and onward. So Anthony, let's move on.
And unfortunately, we have to get into a hard times story here. Um, the hard times story, of course. Just give me one moment here. I do apologize for this. I don't know where this pop up came from. Um, the video. Um, this video just pop up out of nowhere. All right, I think we're okay now. It's the St. Louis Cardinals hacking case. It was announced about a little more than a week ago. Commissioner Rob Manfred had the St. Louis Cardinals surrender 2 draft picks and pay a $2 million fine after one of their former employees was found to have broken into the Houston Astros private database. But is that punishment strong enough? Baseball officially entered a new era a couple Mondays ago when it gave a lifetime ban to a computer hacker. To the rogues gallery of the permanently ineligible that includes the 8 Black Sox who through the 1919 World Series, Benny Koff, who was thrown in 1920 for selling stolen cars, and Pete Rose, who was banned for betting on baseball. Commissioner Rob Manfred consigned Chris Correa, the former Cardinals scouting director who hacked into the Astros database. His ban is largely symbolic. He's serving a 46-month sentence in federal prison after pleading guilty in January 2016 to 5 counts of unauthorized access to a protected computer. No team would give him a job when he gets out anyway. The news here is that the Cardinals should consider themselves lucky that Manfred didn't drop the hammer on the club, even harder than he did. St. Louis must pay a $2 million fine to the Astros and fork over their first 2 draft picks this year to Houston. The $2 million fine is the maximum allowed under the MLB Constitution, and the draft picks are not in the first round. Their numbers 56 and 75. The Cardinals already had lost their first-round pick for signing free agent Dexter Fowler. The picks lost are assigned a combined value of about $1.8 million. While Manfred did find the club liable for Correa's misconduct, he did, to borrow a phrase, draw a firewall between Correa and all other St. Louis employees. He cast Correa as the rogue operator and the club as unknowing and unsuspecting of his behavior. It is because Correa's behavior was so widespread, hacking into Houston's database 48 times through 5 employee emails over a 2.5-year period, that Manfred could have hit the Cardinals even harder. The NCAA likes to use the phrase institutional control to assign a larger responsibility for rogue behavior. Institutional control is important here because of how far-ranging the hacking was. What if St. Louis had not signed Fowler? Would the team's penalty have included the loss of picks numbers 19 and 56? It seems more appropriate to have the loss of a first-round pick attached to the penalty. Where Fowler signed should have no bearing on the resolution of this case. Manfred knew this was an important decision because he was establishing precedent here. Every baseball team now runs on proprietary analytics. The protection of that intellectual property is paramount. Where once Kennesaw Mountain Landis had to worry about players consorting with gamblers, throwing games, or selling stolen cars, Manfred has to worry about cybersecurity. But if the methodologies of rogue behavior are new, the reasons are as old as time: greed, envy, and ego. Correa was part of the new breed of bright minds in the game, people with advanced degrees who somehow want a stake in baseball, not in their field of study. He studied cognitive sciences at Hampshire College, obtained a master's in psychology at Illinois, and was working on his doctorate at Michigan when he made the Cardinals an offer. He would volunteer to work for them, essentially, as an analyst. He was eventually hired full-time and worked under scouting director Jeff Luhnow, who left in December 2011 to be Houston's general manager. 1 month later, in January 2012, Sig Mejdal also left the Cardinals to join the Astros. Mejdal had worked at Lockheed Martin and NASA before joining St. Louis. Shortly after Madoff's hiring in Houston, Correa hacked into the Astros system. How did he pull it off? Court documents showed he gained access to Madoff's laptop after he turned it in. Correa discovered that the password on that laptop was the same one Madoff was using with the Astros. It was based on the name of a player who was scrawny and who would not have been thought to succeed in the major leagues. But through effort and determination, he succeeded anyway, said Michael Chu, the assistant U.S. attorney who prosecuted the case against Correa. Chu said the Astros employee just liked that name, so he just kept on using that name over the years. Why would Correa hack into the Astros system? He told U.S. District Judge Lynn Hughes that he did so out of concern that the ex-Cardinals employees had taken with them proprietary information from the Cardinals. So you broke into their house to see if they were stealing your stuff, the judge asked. Stupid, I know, Correa said. But Correa's behavior went far beyond stupid. He gained unfettered access to Madoff's email account and attempted to breach the accounts of other Houston employees. The government sentencing report, which was unsealed last week, detailed how Correa took information from the Astros to inform the Cardinals' draft and trade decisions. In 2013, for instance, Correa accessed the Astros' ranked draft list 2 months before the draft, as well as scouting information from 3 Houston baseball operations people. He intruded into the system again the day before the draft, and again before the third day of the draft, including a peek at private medical records of potential draft picks. He also viewed the Astros' trade discussion notes at least 14 times leading up to the trade deadline. Ultimately, Correa was not intruding to see if the Astros took any information. Rather, he was keenly focused on information that coincided with the work he was doing for the Cardinals, Chu said. There was one more motivation for Correa, according to Chu: jealousy. Sports Illustrated's June 13, 2014 issue featured a cover story on the Astros that included the front page billing, "Your 2017 World Series champs." Madoff was one of Correa's rivals, Chu wrote, adding that the two of them engaged in heated discussions when both worked for St. Louis. And now this rival was being praised. The Cardinals and Correa benefited from the hacks. The Cardinals gained access to privileged information. Correa earned a promotion. Finding a price to pay for those ill-gotten benefits was not easy for Manfred. The $2 million fine is among the highest ever levied against the club. But the Cardinals lost no players and no first-round picks. The hurt could have been worse. And if I'm going to be honest, it should have been. I mean, that's getting off easy. If I'm going to be real honest here. I mean, that's downright criminal. That's like a federal offense. If I'm going to be real honest. I mean, I believe he's serving the 46. I mean, that's almost 4 years. I guess I can understand that, but I mean, but as we always say, why should a team have to suffer? Why should a whole team have to suffer because of some stupid idiot muttonhead who had nothing better to do? I don't know. I just don't know. But, you know, thankfully this whole matter is over. And now when it comes to baseball, we can focus on spring training, which is getting underway in about a week or so. I know Bullock and I talked about it earlier during our boys' night out, so that's all I can say on that. So the matter's been put to bed, so let's just put it to bed. So MF, quick thought on this, if you would.
Wow. I wish my voice was a lot more better because I probably would be going on a rant right now. But Anthony, you pretty much used all the ammunition that I needed. St. Louis, you should be ashamed of yourselves. That's all I can say about it. Completely disappointed, embarrassed, disgusted as a member of the National League. That is absolutely reprehensible, and I'm shocked that Manfred did not drop the hammer on him. I think the punishment should have been more severe than what it was. I'm sorry. I know Manfred did a good thing by trying to cut the loophole here and cutting it off at the pass and making them lose some draft picks, which is all right, fine, fair enough. That's kind of what you can do under the CBA and under, like you said, the baseball constitution. But I'm shocked this was not a death penalty. I'm shocked that this was not a death penalty. But, you know, it is what it is. So, Bullock, it's yours if you want it.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, the Cardinals. I mean, I agree. They should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, they were lucky that they only forfeited a draft pick. But the thing is, I think it should have been more than that. Like a hefty fine, or even more worse than that. But yeah, Anthony pretty much mentioned everything, so I'm not going to even bother getting into any further details on it. So let's just move on, Florio.
All right. Next up, we move to the NBA and a hard time situation. Zach LaVine of the Minnesota Timberwolves, torn ACL, done for the season. I think it's only fitting we start with Mr. NBA, MF on this one. MF, big loss for the T-Wolves, and also a big loss for the dunk contest, because this young man had won the dunk contest the last 2 years in a row and had wowed us in each of those 2 years.
Yeah, no, man, this sucks. My heart breaks. This is a horrible loss, horrible injury. Um, I really wish there was something better that I can say, but there's nothing that would even I could even say that would even help here. I'm heartbroken. I'm sorry. Um, I wish it was better. I wish this was better news, but it isn't. Um, eh, sometimes in sports you got these incidents and injuries and the whole 9 yards, and there's really nothing that we can really say. I mean, Zach LaVine was a good player, solid performer. Um, Breaks for him, man. This sucks. This sucks so bad. Um, I wish him nothing but the best, and I wish him nothing but a speedy recovery. I hope he feels better. Zach, we're thinking about you. Get well soon, man, and hopefully you'll be ready to be that champion, that warrior again next season, man. This sucks bad. Sorry, Mike Bullock. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, very tough loss here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, a great young talent, and now he's done for the season with that torn ACL. I mean, like you said, he's NBA slam dunk champion, has won it in back-to-back years. Was looking for the three-peat, but not going to happen because of the injury. And was even named the Rising Stars Challenge MVP from last season. Was named to the NBA's All-Rookie Second Team in 2015. And of course, he was a first-round pick of the Timberwolves in the 2014 NBA draft, 13th overall. And I mean, in just that one season, I mean, after that one season of UCLA, of course, yeah, of course, I mean, he was really good. I mean, of course, it's in just that one season he played in 37 games and averaged about over 9 points a game. And but yeah, I mean, it's tough for him, and I really wish him nothing but the best. Back stronger next year. So, Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, tremendous loss indeed. I mean, you look at what he did in the dunk contest in 2015 and 16. He made the dunk contest fun again, especially last year. I mean, who will ever forget last year in the dunk contest when it came down to him and Aaron Gordon? I mean, one of the greatest slam dunk finals of all time. Many people consider it the greatest slam dunk final of all time. I mean, it drew comparisons to the other all-time great slam dunk final, 1988, when Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins in Chicago Stadium. I mean, when they threw down. I mean, he's only 21 years old. I mean, a tremendous talent out of UCLA, and Minnesota was on the verge of a rise, but it's obvious they're going to go nowhere now. And but it is what it is, and it's just a shame, man. it was a week ago that he was ruled out for the rest of the season after an MRI revealed he had a torn ACL in his left knee. I believe that was against the Detroit Pistons that he suffered that injury. So, yeah. So Zach LaVine, we're thinking of you. I mean, and he was having a career year too, guys. I mean, he was averaging 19 a game, averaging about 3 rebounds, 3 assists, about 0.9 steal, but had a field goal percentage of 459. 3-point shooting was solid, 387. But the scoring, he was having a career year scoring wise, but but nonetheless, we're hopeful that we see him back next year. And not only that, but I hope we get to see him in the dunk contest for next year's All-Star game. So, but it is what it is. So all the best, Zach LaVine, and we're thinking of you. We wish you have a speedy recovery, and that's it. So, all right, Michael Bullock, take a breather here because we're gonna get into UFC 208 now. I'm gonna bring MF in on this to get his thoughts on it. Here's the card for it. Preliminary card, UFC Fight Pass. Ryan LaFleur against Rohan Carneiro in a welterweight match. Felipe Nova against Rick Glenn in a featherweight. And then on Fox Sports 1.
Mike, check.
Yep, you're here. You're here.
Okay.
Yep. Ian McCall versus Jared Brooks in a flyweight bout. Nick Lentz against Islam Makhachev in a lightweight matchup. Wilson Reese versus Olga Sasaki in a flyweight. And then Randy Brown against Bilal Muhammad in the welterweight. That's on FS1. And then on the main card, Dustin Poirier going up against Jim Miller in a lightweight bout. Glover Teixeira against Jared Cannonier in a light heavyweight bout. Ronaldo Souza against Tim Botch in a middleweight bout. Anderson the Spider Silva against Derek Brunson in a middleweight bout. And in the main event, women's featherweight action. And this is actually going to be for the inaugural UFC Women's Featherweight Championship. Former bantamweight champion Holly Holm. You remember Holly Holm? I mean, she's the one who made history and pulled off the greatest upset in women's sports when she knocked out Ronda Rousey late 2015. She's going to be going up against Jermaine Diurandami. So MF, as we look at this card for UFC 208 tomorrow night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, I know you're going to be going up to the brand new Buffalo Wild Wing where Michael Bullock and I were earlier tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Nice facility, I gotta tell you. I mean, and the food was tremendous. So I know you're gonna be going there. I'm sure you're gonna be going there with Alex Zapata, another one of our good friends, and someone that we would love to get on the show someday. So MF, I'm sure you and Alex have been talking about it. How does this card look to you? Does it look promising? So what?
Well, I will say this. Normally the prelim fights, they never really interest us, the main card, but 3 fights really stick out, and that one is the Ronaldo Souza versus Tim Botch. Of course, Ronaldo Souza, who lost to Hero. Basically, that was a middleweight contender elimination fight, and the winner of that was going to get Romero defeated Ronaldo Souza, and that pretty much prompted the next thing for him. So now Ronaldo Souza trying to get back into that title contention with a good fighter in Tim Botch. We'll got to see what happens there. And we got Derek Brunson, who's really an unknown, even though he has done pretty well in his MMA career. 16 wins, 4 losses in his career. But boy, is he going up against a legend, a GOAT, as we like to say. The greatest middleweight champion in the history of the middleweight division, Anderson the Spider Silva. What's there to say, man? 42 fights, 33 wins, 1 no contest. But let me tell you guys, Anderson Silva is without a doubt possibly the greatest middleweight champion of the world. And here's the thing. He is the longest running he was the longest running champion in the history of the UFC. He held the middleweight title for 2,457 days. He held the middleweight championship, 16 straight wins, 10 title defenses, 13 bonuses in the UFC history. He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Everybody talks about Conor McGregor. McGregor is great. This guy is in a class all by himself. I can't wait to see him. The thing is, with Alex and myself, well, for me, I always like to stay neutral. For Alex, he cannot go against Anderson Silva. This is like one of his favorite fighters in the world today. He loves so much our Conor McGregor. He loves Juliana Pena. He loves Anderson Silva. I cannot say anything bad about Anderson Silva. If I say anything bad about Anderson, he'll probably want to kill me. So I gotta be on my P's and Q's when I see that fight tomorrow night. As far as the main event goes, with Jermaine Ramadei and Holly Holm, like you said, this is the 145-pound women's division title fight. First time ever they're ever doing this. For Jermaine, I didn't know much about her, but dude, she's been in. She's more of a kickboxer. Her career record in kickboxing was 37 wins, 37-0 with 14 wins by knockout. But in the UFC or in mixed martial arts, she's 6-3. This is her first time she's ever fighting for the UFC. So she's fought in the women's bantamweight division before. She was, excuse me. She won her first ever fight, which was against Julie Clyde, UFC 8, won by split decision. Then fought Amanda Nunes, got knocked out in the first round, and then went against Lizar Pacheco and got knocked out at UFC 185 via a TKO in the second round, won that fight by TKO in the second fight. So she's 2-1 in the UFC. Holly Holm, the preacher's daughter, and yes, she is the one that knocked off Ronda Rousey, basically knocked her off the perch. Everybody knows her as a professional fighter. She has a 33-2 record in boxing, and in mixed martial arts, she's 10-2. But like I said, in her career, she won. She has to bounce back. She's lost her last 2 fights. She lost. She beat Ronda Rousey, winning the title, only to lose the belt to Miesha Tate in a 5-round classic at UFC 196. And to me, if Holly would have hung on in that 5th and final round, I think I would have been able to call that a victory for her. I think she would have won the fight. And then, of course, she went against Valentina Shevchenko and got completely destroyed. That was on July 23rd, 2016. Now she's fighting for the women's featherweight championship at 145 pounds. And they're saying that if she does win, who knows? This might be a possible fight for Chris Cyborg. We heard rumors about possibly Cyborg getting an opportunity at the belt. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But it'll be awesome to make the inaugural champion. For me, I got to go with Holly Holm. I just think the way I think about this fight, it goes like this. If Holly keeps it up and basically does not try to go to the ground, try to keep it that boxing style fight and uses a little bit of her kickboxing, I think Holly wins the fight. The way that this thing can go to Jermaine is really the only way this fight goes to Jermaine, and I'm going to be real honest with you, is really if Jermaine really decides that she wants to use the kickboxing. She is very good at Muay Thai, so you can see a lot of kicks, a lot of shots to the body, shots to the head, more on kicks than anything else. Don't expect this to go to the ground, guys. Don't expect any submission type moves or anything like that, because I don't think that's going to happen. This is going to be a stand up, kicking, punching type of affair, because I think that's what these two girls are more known for. If they try to do something different, we'll wait and see what happens. But for me, that's why I think it's going to be like, this is going to be an incredible event. Nothing more to say. So let me try to rest my voice, and Anthony, it's back to you.
Yeah. Should be an interesting event indeed. If you're in the area, go up and see MF. MF will be there. They'll be at the brand new Buffalo Wild Wings that opened in Seekonk. Him and Alex Zapata, they'll be there for UFC 208 tomorrow night. So looking forward to that. It'll be live from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and on pay-per-view, and a brand new women's featherweight champion will be crowned. I like Holly Holm as well, MF. I mean, she is amazing, and I mean, it's always a treat when the Spider's in there. Anderson Silva, that should be a tremendous matchup. I got him winning that as well, and I don't know much about the other fights. Glover Teixeira, I got to go with him, and then in the last one, that's a tough one to call with Poirier and Miller. So there you go. So good job as always, MF. We're gonna let you rest up a little bit. We have one more topic to get into before we get into our NHL power rankings, and it's, of course, the big story from the NHL this week. I wanted to save this to coincide with the NHL power rankings. This easily could have led off the show, but the big story in the NHL this week, this past Tuesday, the Boston Bruins firing head coach Claude Julien. I'm going to tell you something here. About a week or two before, I remember MF sent me some text messages, and he told me to keep it under wraps. He basically said, don't say anything. You could tell Derek, you could tell Bullock, but don't say anything until it's official. I'm like, okay, my lips are sealed. He was reporting this. I think it was on the Sunday of the AFC Championship game, I believe. I think it was on the day of the conference championships. I believe that's when he broke that news to me. So, but this past Tuesday it was made official. Claude Julien fired as the head coach of the Boston Bruins. And it created a major firestorm this week, because they did this on the same day the New England Patriots were celebrating their fifth Super Bowl championship in the greatest Super Bowl of all time, the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. They did all that on that day while the Patriots were having their parade in Boston and then later in Providence. So, and let's just say Derek Ferreira absolutely lost his mind, and not in a good way. As a matter of fact, Michael Bullock and I were considering going on rants as well, but out of respect, we're not going to do that, because Derek Ferreira pretty much took care of all of that for us. He vented out all the frustration we had about it. But in all seriousness, though, Claude Julien fired as the head coach of the Boston Bruins. Bruce Cassidy, now the interim head coach, and so far so good. Bruce Cassidy winning his first game under the interim tag against the defending Western Conference champs of all teams, the San Jose Sharks. So good for them. So Michael Bullock, it's only fitting we start this off with you, because you are the Boston Bruins fan here, although I know you're a disgruntled Boston Bruins fan, and we've gone back and forth about this throughout the week since Derek went on his tirade. So Michael Bullock, I'd like to get you started here. Seriously, your thoughts on all of this without the rant.
Yeah, I just think the timing of the firing, I thought was pretty bad. I mean, to do it on the day of the Patriots winning their fifth Super Bowl title and, of course, celebrating it, well, I'm just going to say it's pretty much pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, irresponsible, and borderline reprehensible. And to me, the Bruins front office should be ashamed of themselves. And yes, I'm talking to you, Cam Neely, and I'm talking to you, GM Don Sweeney. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that, because when I called you earlier in the week, and even tonight, I pretty much gave you my rant on the whole thing. I mean, really no need to go any further on it, but yeah, I mean, it was back on June 22nd of 2007. Claude Julien was named as the 28th head coach in the history of the Boston Bruins, and yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, he, excuse me, of course, he in his first season as the coach, he led them, of course, to the playoffs, of course, only to lose to the Montreal Canadiens in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, and then, of course, in the 2010 playoffs, of course, they lost in 7 games to the Philadelphia Flyers, where they became just the 4th NHL team to lose a best-of-7 series after being up 3-0. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I was basically upset about that, but boy, in the 2010-2011 season, it was one I will never forget, because for the first time in 39 years, the Boston Bruins ended up winning the Stanley Cup, and of course, winning in 7 games, and of course, they dominated Game 7, beating the Vancouver Canucks 4-0, and yeah, I mean, and entering that 2011 playoffs, Claude Julien's career playoff record in Game 7s was 1-3. But of course, we all remember what happened in the 2011 playoffs. Of course, winning 3 Game 7s. Then, of course, into the 2011-2012 season. Of course, they ended up losing, of course, in the quarterfinals to the Washington Capitals. And then, of course, the following year, in the lockout shortened season, he ended up taking the Bruins back to the Stanley Cup Finals for the second time in 3 years. Of course, before that, of course, they beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in 7 games, where they came back from a 4-1 deficit to win it 5-4 in overtime. And then, of course, they would go on to. I hate to bring this up to you, Florio. I know this is going to bring bad memories, but of course, the Bruins beating the New York Rangers in 5 games. Sorry, I had to bring that up, and then, of course, the biggest shocker of all, they went up against the top seeded Pittsburgh Penguins in the Eastern Conference Finals, and many people thought that was going to go the full distance, the full 7 games. Nope. It ended in a sweep, and he took the Bruins back to the Stanley Cup Finals, of course, losing to the eventual champion Chicago Blackhawks in 6 games. And then the 2013-14 season, he led the Bruins to the President's Trophy for the best regular season record in the NHL. And then ever since then, the team hasn't even made the postseason. So, I mean, it's been a great 10 years for him, even though pretty much the last 3 didn't go as planned. But I mean, congratulations to Claude Julien on a great career in Boston, and I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors, and hopefully you get another job as a coach. So that's pretty much all I can say. So actually, Florio, I'm gonna head out now because I got to work in the morning. So I'll see you. I think we're are we doing the preview for Elimination Chamber?
That's what I was about to ask you. I know MF's going to be out covering the UFC events. So what time would be good for you tomorrow night?
10:30.
Reasonable? Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you leaning more towards?
It doesn't matter. Either one of those times is fine with me.
Either one of those is good. Okay.
Yeah.
10's okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. But for the recap, I will not be around because I have plans that night. So just want to give you the heads up on that.
All right. MF heard that. So because MF will be hopefully MF will be in better spirits to do the recap. Otherwise, I'll take it over if I have to. So all right, Bullock. Go on and get out of here. It was a great night as always. I'm glad we got to do our thing tonight, and I know we'll do it again in the future. And then from there, we'll see you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. So
all righty.
Have a good one.
Yep, you too.
All right, bye for now. All right, Michael Bullock, work commitments morning, so he will be back with us tomorrow night at 10, right back here on the Tone 25 as we preview the SmackDown Live exclusive event, Elimination Chamber. I'll have more on that in a moment. But my thoughts on Claude Julien, I mean, it was a long time coming. I mean, it had been rumored for so many years, and Derek Ferreira, diehard Bruin fan, there were so many times where he said, fire Claude Julien, fire Claude Julien. Well, he finally got his wish, but he just didn't like the timing of it. I mean, if you didn't see his video the other day, oh my goodness. I mean, parental discretion strongly advised. That wasn't even an MA. That was an NC-17. I strongly suggest parental discretion advised. I mean, because that was, ooh, Lord. Let's just say he was not too thrilled about it. But nonetheless, when we look at his coaching career, he was with the Montreal Canadiens for 3 seasons. Got in the playoffs one time, 2003-04. Lost in the second round. I'm not sure who they lost to. I think it was either Tampa Bay or Philadelphia. I think it was Tampa Bay. Yeah, I want to say it was Tampa Bay that they beat in that they lost in the second round to in 04. And was fired 05-06 at around the halfway mark. Had 1 year in New Jersey. Had a very good year, 47-24 and 807 points, but that wasn't even good enough for the postseason. And then from there, and then of course he became the head coach of the Boston Bruins the following year. In his first 7 years with the team, they made the playoffs. Of course, like Bullock mentioned, in 2011 they won the Stanley Cup. In that lockout Jordan season in 2013. Almost won the Stanley Cup again, but they came up just short against the Chicago Blackhawks. Won a President's Trophy the following year in 2013-14. 117 points, which was enough to win the President's Trophy. And then just missed the playoffs each of the last 2 years, and then off to a so-so start this year in Bruins management. That was it. So Bruce Cassidy, now wears the interim tag, and so far so good. He's 1 for 1. Big win on Thursday night against I think it was either Thursday or Wednesday night that they knocked off the defending Western Conference champion San Jose Sharks. Big deal right there. So we'll see where it goes. I don't really have high hopes for the Bruins going forward, but if they somehow make the playoffs, it'll be a miracle, if I'm going to be real honest with you, because they have been very sloppy as of late. Nice win against San Jose, yes, but they got a long, long way to go if they want to make the postseason for the first time since their President's Trophy season of 2013 and 14. So But if you want my honest opinion, I think he will find another job. No question about it. I mean, his resume is too good. So any other team out there, with the exception of the Rangers, because the Rangers recently locked up Alain Vigneault. They recently signed him to an extension. So if any coaches, get fired, other coaches get fired or resign or what have you, Claude Julien's a good coach. I mean, say what you want about him, but his body of work speaks for itself. I mean, had that one good year in Montreal, had that good year in New Jersey, but what he did in Boston, I mean, making the Bruins fun to watch again. I mean, I know the fans will never forget what he did, especially the Stanley Cup in 2011, their first in nearly 40 years. So, it is what it is. So all the best to Claude Julien in his future endeavors, and no doubt about it. MF, there's no doubt in my mind, he's going to get another job in the future. No doubt about it. So, MF, quick thought, if you would. You were the one who reported this to me. You sent me all those texts some time ago, and you told me to keep it tight-lipped, but not anymore. It's out in the open now.
Yeah. First off, I want to give a major prop to my buddy Kevin LaRoche because he was the one who initially gave me the scoop, and he told me, "Hey, Mike, I heard some rumors going around, but don't say anything just yet. But there was something going on with the Bruins." And I actually wanted to, and I asked him, I was like, okay, as a reporter or as a broadcaster, can you verify your sources? Who are you hearing this from? I heard this from 2 sources. And I was like, so you think this is going to happen? Like, straight up. He's like, I was like, all right. Can I talk to one of my friends? And he's like, yeah, just tell him not to say anything on social media. Fair enough. That's when I notified you because I know you're Mr. NHL and I wanted this scoop to get in before anybody else. So we kind of knew that the time was ticking. But like you said, we didn't know who it was going to be, when it was going to happen, and then it happened. Maybe not the way that the Bruins wanted it, but it happened. A lot of people were not happy. I was like, wow, you actually made the announcement the day of the Patriot Super Bowl winning thing. What are you trying to do? Steal the headlines from the team? Good grief, that's a little bit of a shady move. That was a little bit of a dirtbag move, but you know. But for me, I'm happy with what happened. He was gonna get fired no matter what. It didn't matter what if it was gonna be, now after the All-Star break or whenever. But the writing was on the wall, so it happened. After nice win over San Jose, but now they got they still got a lot to do. So we'll see. So Anthony is on. Let's move on.
And then we have one thing left to do. NHL Power Rankings. That's where we stand here. Of course. All right. It's been quite a while since we last did these, because we had those special edition Strictly Sports shows the last few weeks. I got to remember, when did we last do these? It was back on our January. It was, wow, almost a month ago. My goodness. Man, how time flies. But yeah, because the following week we did the NBA Power Rankings and then those 2 special edition shows. Each of the last 2 weeks, when we previewed NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble, and then last week with the Super Bowl. So, but we're back. We're back and ready to go with the NHL Power Rankings. I'll tell you right now, a couple of these were no-brainers. I'm going to be real honest with you. Number one, is a no-brainer. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. The team I have at number 1 is far and away the best team right now. I think I do have some new additions in there. I also have some duds in there from the last rankings. So let's start it off here. Let's see. Get it started at number 10. Let me see. Who do I have at number 10? Okay, yep. My number 10, I'll tell you right now, I think my top 5 are easily no-brainers. But these first few are going to be major chores. I'm not going to lie. But my number 10, I am going to go. I'm going to start it off at a tie at number 10. Yeah, I got a tie at number 10. It's based on the last 10. Calgary Flames is one of them, and my other, I gotta go with the Anaheim Ducks. Yes, Calgary 5-5 in the last 10, won their last game. They're over 500, 28, 25-3, 59 points. Let's see. 17th in goal scoring, 9th in power play percentage. So far, so good. I mean, they've won 3 of their last 4 games. I mean, so far in this month of February, they beat Minnesota. They won at New Jersey. The only downside, a loss to the Rangers on Sunday night. Or I should say Super Bowl Sunday afternoon. But they picked up a humongous win against the Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins this past Tuesday night in Pittsburgh. And that's the main reason why I've got them in these rankings right now. They host Arizona Monday, host Philadelphia on Wednesday, and then next Saturday they're at Vancouver. 21st they're at Nashville. 23rd they're at Tampa, and then the 24th they're at Florida. So this is a good young team. I like what I see out of them. I've liked what I've seen the last couple of weeks. I mean, especially the 3 out of the 4 here in February. They gave the Rangers major fits. MF and I will admit it, but the Rangers found a way to get it done. I'll tell you right now, Rangers are in my top 5. I'm not gonna. And I know people saying, "Oh, you're being biased." No, I'm not. Have you seen what they've been doing the last few weeks? I have. MF, and I know MF has too. But first, number 10, Calgary Flames. My other number 10 is the Anaheim Ducks, purely based on the last 10 games. They're doing well. They're 29, 17, and 10. They're 2 points behind San Jose in the Pacific Division. Crowded division. 8th in goals allowed, 7th in penalty kill. Those are the notable stats for Anaheim. Like what I've seen from this team as well. But one of the reasons why I don't have them as high as they are is Calgary's won 3 out of 4 here in February. Anaheim's lost 3 out of 4 in February. I mean, they're in the midst of a long road trip. They lost at Florida, lost at Tampa, lost against the Rangers, but they did win on Thursday night against Buffalo. Doesn't get any easier for them. They got the Washington Capitals coming up tomorrow night in Washington. Good luck. And then it doesn't get any easier. You got to play Minnesota, another top 5 team. Same with Washington. And then Florida next Friday, home to LA on Sunday the 19th, Monday the 20th at Arizona. And then their final game before our next power rankings on the 22nd against the Boston Bruins. So yeah, another good young team here. I think they'll definitely make the postseason. Not sure about Calgary, but Anaheim, I definitely see them making it. I just don't know how far they'll go at this time. It's a wide open West, although I think it's a 2-team race right now. So code number 10's Calgary Flames and the Anaheim Ducks. MF, I'm sure you're going to have a disagreement with that, but what says you anyway?
Sorry about that. First off, I want to say that I disagree with Calgary. I don't have them in my rankings, but I do agree with Anaheim. I got them at number 10. I think you absolutely got this right. I'm not going to argue that. I'm just going to move on with my number 9. And my number 9, Le Montreal des Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens. They got 31 wins, 17 losses, 8 I guess overtime shootout losses, I guess, is how you count that.
Yeah.
70 points overall. Right now they are the top. I believe they're the top dogs in the Atlantic Division right now. So they're the top dogs in the Atlantic Division. They've been playing all right. I mean, like Anthony, if you were talking about the last 10, 4 wins, 4 losses, two of those losses were overtime / shootout losses. They did win their last game, which was 5-4 over. Well, actually, their last victory was 5-4 over Arizona, and they're playing St. Louis this evening, in at the Bell Center in Montreal. So no, I really don't have that much of an argument with what you said here, Anthony. So for me, my number nine is the Canadiens. What says you?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It is Montreal. The 4-4-2 in the last 10, seventh in goals in goal scoring. They're ninth in goals allowed, fifth in power play percentage. Those are the notable numbers to keep an eye on with them. No doubt, I got them going back to the postseason after last year. Last year they got to a blazing hot start, and then they really sputtered after that. Here's the only difference, though. So far in the month of February, they're 1-4. They've lost 4 out of 5 here in the month of February. Losing at Philadelphia, losing at home to Washington, losing at home to Edmonton, losing in Colorado. But they picked up they stopped the bleeding on Thursday night with a win in Arizona, 5-4. Tonight, they're going to be playing the St. Louis Blues, which is the NHL Network Saturday night game of the week. So check that out on the NHL Network. It's part of an NHL doubleheader. There's an afternoon game beforehand. I believe it's San Jose and Philly. And then on Sunday night, MF, Montreal gets to renew acquaintances with their most hated rival, the Boston Bruins, in the Garden on Sunday night on NBC Sports Network. Oh, daddy. And then on the 18th, next Saturday, and then they're going to have the week off. And then next Saturday, they host Winnipeg. 21st, they go to Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. Always fun. 2014, hello. And then their last game before the next rankings on the 23rd against the New York Islanders. So, yeah, I mean, clearly they're doing much better without PK Subban, who they traded to Nashville for Shea Weber. As you know, and Shea Weber has paid immediate dividends for that team, honest to goodness. And no doubt about it, I got this team in the postseason, and I think they have what it takes to make a cup run. I do. I mean, they got the talent to do it. And Michel Therrien's a very good coach. So that's all I can say on that. So Montreal Canadiens, number 9, 100% agree with you, MF, on that one. Let me see. I do have some honorable mentions. I did make a Dipsy Dubacharu. Calgary Flames, I should have put them in my honorable mention list. New York Islanders, another honorable mention. 7-1-2 in the last 10. 58 points, though. They still have some work to do. New Jersey Devils, another honorable mention, 6-3-1 in the last 10, 2 in a row. Record needs work. I do have one dud, and that one dud is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I had them in my top 5 in the last rankings. Not so much here. 4-3-3 in the last 10. Lost their last game. Need to see a little more from those guys. So I think I pretty much covered all the bases on that. So all right. Now this next one here is going to be a little bit of an unpopular decision here, but this is strictly because of the last 10 games. I had them what did I have them in my last rankings? I had this team in the top 3 in my last rankings, but from what I've seen in the last 10, no. But the only reason I'm keeping them in there is because of their body of work overall. I'm sorry, Columbus Blue Jackets, number 8. 4-5-1 in the last 10 games. I mean, the record is amazing. 34-14-5, 73 points. One of many metropolitan teams. Of course, the best division in all of hockey. If you want to debate MF or myself, hey, feel free. It is the best division in all of hockey. I don't care what anybody says. Don't believe us? Watch the All-Star game back. and tell us otherwise. Columbus Blue Jackets, first in power play percentage, third in goals against, fifth in goal scoring. Those are the notable numbers to keep an eye on. But they've been sputtering, unfortunately. 1-3 in the month of February, losing at Pittsburgh, a bad home loss to New Jersey. They picked up a nice win in Detroit on Tuesday, and then they lost their last game at home against Vancouver, 3-0. Detroit comes in tonight, and then they host the Rangers Monday night, NBC Sports Network. Major power ranking implications aplenty in that one. The 15th, they host Toronto. 17th, they host the Stanley Cup champion Penguins. And then on Sunday the 19th, they host the Nashville Predators. And that's their last game before our next rankings in 2 weeks. So that's all I can say on that. Unpopular decision, I'm sure, but it's based on the last 10 only. Sorry. So my number 8, reluctantly, is the Columbus Blue Jackets, even though I'm sure some say they deserve to be higher. So MF, what says you?
No, I'm with you on this one. Columbus Blue Jackets is number 8. I agree. I'm more than willing to step into the front lines and start to fight if it needs to be. But no, I'm with you on this one, Anthony. There's no argument here. I just think that with everything that's been going on, I just can't do it. I just can't find it in my good conscience to do it. You absolutely made a lot of valid points here. So no, Columbus Blue Jackets definitely deserved to be at the number 8 spot, and I'm willing to fight you tooth and nail if it needs to be, but hopefully it doesn't. So no, I agree. My number 7, just to move on. You know what? I kind of thought about this long and hard. I know point-wise, it's not a flashy pick, but when you go 6-3-1 in the last 10 games, and that's proving a lot of points here, I got to do it. I'm sorry. I have to pull the trigger here. Did I call Edmonton already, Anthony?
No.
Edmonton Oilers, number 7. That's my team. That's what I'm going with. So, like I said, they did beat Montreal. They got to play Chicago. Never easy to play the Chicago Blackhawks, especially at home. Even though it is at home, but think about this: Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Joel Quenneville, and all them boys. This is going to be a tough game. And oh, by the way, Chicago, they're in my top 5 this week, folks. They are in the top 5. So,
Same here.
yeah, no arguments here for me. My number 7, the Edmonton Oilers. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. I actually have them a little bit higher, MF, with all due respect, because there are a couple of other good teams here. My number 7, even though this team is 5-5 in the last 10 games, they've won 3 games in a row. And they're starting to come around a bit. St. Louis Blues. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of them. That 3-game winning streak, really speaks to me. 6th in power play, 6th in penalty kill, 9th in goals scored. Unlike some of these teams, they're playing very well in this month of February. They're 4-1 so far here in February. They had 2 wins against Toronto, 1 in Toronto and 1 at home. Their only loss was to Pittsburgh, Stanley Cup champs. Back-to-back shutouts against Philadelphia and Ottawa. And then in Toronto, they're in the midst of a 5-game road trip. They're 3-0. They're 3-for-3 so far. They got to go to Montreal tonight. And then Wednesday, NHL What's the night America loves to hate, MF? Wednesday night. And they go up against the Detroit Red Wings at the Joe Louis Arena. How much fun we used to have calling those games back in the day. Vancouver Thursday, at Buffalo Saturday the 18th, and then Monday the 20th they're home against Florida. So but yeah, they're turning the corner a bit. St. Louis, I've been liking their body of work a little bit. 3 in a row, even though they're 5-5 5 in the last 10 games. That's basically it. So now we come up on, so they're number 7. Yeah, number 7 is the St. Louis Blues. Number 6, I have a tie at number 6. Both teams 6-3-1 in the last 10 games. One of them is the Edmonton Oilers. I agree with you there, MF, no doubt about it. And the other, Nashville Predators. I'll talk about Edmonton. I mean, the Edmonton Oilers, for the first time in a long time, are actually fun to watch again. They're only 4 points behind San Jose in the Pacific. 6th in goals against. That's the big number right there. 12th in goals scoring, and of course, all of that being led by, of course, the young man who I affectionately call the Hype, Connor McDavid, and leads the team with 60 points, 18 goals, 42 assists. Cam Talbot, our old friend from the Rangers, MF. I mean, look what he's been doing. 232 goals against, 922 save percentage, 5 shutouts. I mean, incredible. 27 wins. I mean, he's definitely making a case for the Vezina, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm really loving his body of work right now, and this is a phenomenal young team, and I hope this team makes the Stanley Cup playoffs, because I would love to see Connor McDavid and this team in the playoffs. 1-2 so far here in February. Losses to Nashville and Carolina. That big win against Montreal on Super Bowl Sunday. They're at home against Chicago, and I agree with MF. They're in the top 5, no doubt about it. They got Arizona coming in, then they got Philadelphia coming in, 3-game homestand, and then they go to Chicago next Saturday, the 18th, and then on the 21st they're at Tampa, 22nd they're at Florida, and then on the 24th they're at Washington. Good luck. So that's all I can say on that. So yeah, that young team, MF, I'm telling you, they are fun to watch, and I hope we get a chance to see these boys in action. I mean, especially Connor McDavid. Call him the Hype like I do, but he's fun to watch though. So, and that is a damn good young team, and I'm rooting for them. So Edmonton Oilers, and the other is the Nashville Predators. 6-3-1 in the last 10. They lost their last game. 7th in goals allowed, 9th in the penalty kill. So that's a very big deal there. 2-2 so far in the month of February. They beat the Edmonton Oilers on the 2nd. Tough loss to Detroit at home on the 4th. Big win at home against Vancouver on the 7th. And then in their last game Thursday night, a loss to the Rangers in Madison Square Garden. Saturday, tonight, today they host Florida. And then they host Dallas on Sunday. Next Saturday, the 18th, they're at Minnesota, another top 5 team. At Columbus, Sunday the 19th, home to Calgary the 21st, and then home to Colorado on the 23rd. So 26-20-8. They do have some work to do. I don't think they're going to catch the division, but I think they may have a slim chance at a wild card. Subban's been playing okay, so yeah, that's really all I can say on that. So my what did I have? Co-number 6s are the Edmonton Oilers and the Nashville Predators. I don't think we heard from you. I don't think we heard your number 6 yet, MF. Who you got?
No, you have not. And even though I love your picks, and obviously the Edmonton I disagree with, because I had them, where I had them. This one was not an easy decision for me. However, I can't find it in good faith to do it, and I know I'm probably going to get blasted for this pick, but I got to do it. San Jose Sharks. I'm sorry, I got to do it. San Jose 33-18-4, 70 points, 6-6-2 in the last 10 games. They did lose. They got crushed by the Boston Bruins. That's why, because I had them in my top 5, they got knocked off the top 5 perch with that loss. So they can rebound on the road in Philadelphia tonight. We'll see what happens there. But no, I have to say that that's my decision. My number 5 now. Now it gets a little tricky, but uh I think I got a clear path here. My number 5 to start it off is the New York Rangers. Winners of 4 in a row. They're 7-3 in the last 10 games. The only reason why that they're not higher is because first off, it's a neck and neck. It was between them and Chicago. You can't put either or because they're almost identical. New York's got one more win. Chicago got one less loss. And then basically with the overtimes, with the extra added overtime losses, New York only did one extra thing. Chicago had 5 of them. Point-wise, New York is trailing Chicago by 2. So it's just a couple of nitpicks here and there, but I got to give New York the number 5. Like I said, it's close, but it's right there. So for me, my number 5, I know it's probably going to be disagreed on, but I got to do it. It's my team, the Broadway Blue Shirts, the New York Rangers. Anthony, go.
And don't forget my team too, MF, the Rangers. My number 5, there will be a slight disagreement, just a slight one. My number 5, this is actually where I have San Jose. It's mainly because of the last 10, 6-2-2, but they have lost 3 in a row. That's not going to fly right now. They're third in goaltending, though. They're third in goals against, and fourth in penalty minutes. So, but yeah, 3 in a row. Yeah, all in this month of February. I mean, their last win came against Vancouver on the 2nd. They've lost to Arizona, at Buffalo, and at Boston. They're at Philadelphia this afternoon as the first game of the NHL Network Saturday doubleheader. St. Louis and Montreal is the primetime game. They're at New Jersey on Sunday. They host Florida on Wednesday, NBC Sports Network doubleheader, as you know. The 18th, they're at Arizona. And then Sunday the 19th, they're at home against Boston. So they get another shot at Bruce Cassidy and company. So, yeah, the Western Conference champs. That's pretty much all there is to say on that. So still in that mix. I think they'll definitely make it. I mean, I love how they've been playing. I mean, Burns has been playing well. Thornton's been playing well. And, that's all there is to say about it. They got a great young team, and I think they definitely have what it takes to make another cup run. So no doubt about it. So, all right, number 4. I have a tie at number 4, and this is my last tie. MF, you said it was easy for you to put one over the other, but in this case, I can't. Only because both teams are 7-3 in their last 10 games, and both teams have won 4 in a row. I got to go with both the Chicago Blackhawks and the New York Rangers as my co-number 4s in these rankings. Chicago Blackhawks 34-17-5, 73 points, 7-3 in the last 10. They won 4 in a row. Nothing really notable here as far as the stats go, but yeah, so far they're 4 for 4 here in the month of February. They won at Arizona, and all of these on the road too. At Arizona, at Dallas, at Minnesota, and at Winnipeg. They're at Edmonton tonight, and then get this: their next game won't be until a week from Saturday, the 18th, when they, ironically, against the Edmonton Oilers. And then on the 19th, they're at Buffalo. The 21st, they're at Minnesota. And then on the 23rd, they're home against Arizona. So, yeah, Chicago Blackhawks, no doubt about it. Proven cup contender. Kane, Taves, Hossa, Crawford, the outstanding coaching of Gwenville. I mean, you want to talk about a proven Stanley Cup contender? You're looking at one. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see this team make another deep cup run like we've seen for the last how many years now? That's all there is to it. So first number 4, Chicago Blackhawks. My other number 4, New York Rangers, 35-18-1, 71 points. Third in goals scoring. We're third in goals scored, MF. How about that? 183 goals overall. 10th in goals allowed. 11th in the power play. 13th in the penalty kill. That's pretty good. And so far, they're 4 for 4 in the month of February, winning in Buffalo, and then back-to-back home wins against the likes of, get this, Calgary, Anaheim, and Nashville. Colorado comes in tonight. Hate to say it, but that should be an easy win. But we're going to get tested on Monday night, MF, because we got to go to Columbus. And, they have not been kind to us. You know that. And then on Thursday night, they go to the Barclays to take on the Islanders. And then next Sunday, the 19th, MF, the NHL on NBC Sunday game of the week against the Washington Capitals in the Garden. Yeah, buddy. We coming for you, Caps. And then on the 21st, another tough home contest against the Montreal Canadiens. And then on the 23rd, they go to Air Canada Center against the Maple Leafs. So Alain Vigneault recently signed to an extension. Henrik Lundqvist has been playing better as of late. Ranta, the backup, just him and his wife just had a child recently. Ryan McDonough coming off a stellar outing at the All-Star game. And Chris Kreider is on his way to a career year. And there's one player in particular. There's one player in particular who's really caught my eye on this team. And I know MF's going to agree with me on this wholeheartedly. Give it up for Michael Grabner.
Grabner, yes, indeed.
We got him in a trade, and he leads the team with 26 goals. And how about our boy Miller? JT Miller's been playing great.
Yep. Zuccarello.
Zooks has been playing well. Stepan right there. Lundqvist with 2 shutouts. Ranta with 2 shutouts. Lundqvist, the goals against is a little concerning. 270, which I think is his highest ever in all of his brilliance.
He's definitely has lost a step or two. But some of the goals have been really fluky lately. As a matter of fact, I was watching one of the Rangers games last night when they were playing against
Nashville.
Against Nashville, and there was one, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if Lundqvist was out of position, but it was a brutal goal he gave up. I mean, it was a horrible goal. I don't even know how to even describe it. It was pretty bad.
I could describe it in one word: SAWFT. That's the word.
Yeah,
hate to
you
say
can say that too.
But no. I have all the confidence in the world. This team is going to definitely make another playoff run. MF and I, of course, we're going to pray to our good Lord above that this ends up being our year. Easier said than done. I mean,
this is the toughest one of all. This is the toughest one of all. But I will say this: I really like our chances if we actually play with the Atlantic Division, which means Pittsburgh, Columbus, and Washington keep winning. Yes. To start, or we got to drop a couple of games here and there, because I like our chances facing Montreal, Toronto, even Boston. I like our chances against them. So, yeah, because of this new playoff format, we would have to play the second wild card. Well, because we got the first wild card spot, we play the number 2 overall high rank, which is Montreal. Now,
yes,
Montreal and New York, we play each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we all know how that happened. We all know how that played out.
May 29th, 2014, one of the greatest nights that MF and I ever had as budding sportscasters. No doubt about it. I mean, we covered every nook and cranny of that game. I mean, we called each other up. We watched the game, the entire game, and then we did the Ranger Roundup. I mean, that I don't know if you know this, MF, but did I ever tell you that was my favorite Ranger Roundup show we ever did? Okay, if you didn't know before, now you know. So
Now I know. Yes, I actually thought
Yeah.
actually, and honestly, I thought your favorite was when we did the live commentary after we knocked out the Penguins, Hagelin.
oh, the Hagelin goal, yes.
I thought that
I'll
was
never
gonna be
forget
the
that.
one. So
Oh, that Hagelin goal. I'll never forget how nuts you went on that. I mean, right up there with Doc Emmerich and Gary Thorne, your bread and butter there. So, but nonetheless, though, I got faith that the Rangers can make another playoff run. It's going to be a very tough journey here because so many damn good teams, especially in our own division. I mean, with the Columbus Blue Jackets,
yeah,
the Stanley Cup champion Penguins, the Washington Capitals, needless to say. So those are the teams that I'm worried about. But if we can, get Atlantic Division teams like Montreal and maybe Ottawa, maybe even Toronto, we got a good chance. So never say never. So,
yeah.
but for right now, code number 4 is Chicago Blackhawks and the New York Rangers. I don't believe we got to your number 4, did we, MF?
No, we did not. But we were in that same. Yeah, we had it in the same wavelength. My number 4 was the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't really need to go into any further details. Let's just get into my number 3. Ugh. All right. The only reason why I'm sighing is because this is the team, one of the teams I do not like. I
Right there
used
with
to love them right at the very beginning, but now I got a complete and utter dislike for this team.
Same here.
They're like the plague. They're like the Patriots for me. I don't give a rat's. I could care less if they do good, but I gotta give them for what it's due. The reigning, defending Stanley Cup world champions, Pittsburgh Penguins. Ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll join you on the Boobers.
Like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's a Roman Reigns John Cena booing I would give. 34-13-6, 74 points in the season. 7-2-1 in the last 10 games. They did beat Colorado. Well, everybody's been beating Colorado lately. What am I kidding? 4-1. They play against Arizona on the road. That should be another easy win for them. You know what really got under my skin too? I had a recent chat with Kaiser Marie Butler, the first lady of Strictly Sports. And her family is actually, has that European tie. So they like hockey. They're a big fan. She stuck the dagger in me. She said, "Oh my God, I think Sidney Crosby is cute." And she's been raving about Sid the Kid since. Yeah, I am not happy with her right now. Not happy with her right now. So I couldn't believe she dropped that nuke on me. This is one of my best friends that I've known for over 20 for 20 years now, and she hit me with that nuke. Happy, man, not happy, but hey, it is what it is. Number 3, the Penguins. Had that little the little meme of the penguin getting shot with the little where it says "Penguins suck," because I would love to put that right now, but I can't. So nothing more to say. Let's move on.
Yeah, I agree. Penguins number 3, no doubt. Lead the league in goals scored, 4th in the power play percentage, and well, they're 3 out of 4 here in February. They beat Columbus at home, won in St. Louis, that tough loss to Calgary, and then beat up on Colorado. And I agree, Colorado. Let me tell you something about Colorado. Joe Sakic ain't walking through that door. Peter Forsberg ain't walking through that door, and you know the rest. At Arizona tonight, they host Vancouver the 14th, and then they host Winnipeg Thursday, at Columbus next Friday. They host Detroit as part of an NHL doubleheader on the 19th, and then at Carolina on the 21st, and that's it. So, oh boy, that's news to me about Sid the Kid there, but he's having another big year. 30 goals, 60 points, and Fleury's been playing well. A couple shutouts. Well, Matt Murray, I should say, with a couple of shutouts there. 20 wins for him, so he's making a case for the Vezina. So there you go. The number 3, it is those Stanley Cup champion, or as we like to call them, Stanley Cup chumps, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's it. So number 2, this is easy, Minnesota Wild, 36-12-6, 78.72-1 in the last 10. You want to talk about young teams that I think have unlimited potential? This is the team right here. Second in goals allowed, fourth in goals scored. They got the best young goaltender in the game today in Devan Dubnyk. And 3 out of 5 here in February, losing at Calgary, winning in Vancouver, winning in Winnipeg, tough loss to Chicago. But they rebounded with a nice win against Tampa Bay, a 2-1 shootout win tonight. They host Detroit, NHL Sunday game of the week on Sunday. They host Anaheim. They host Dallas. They're actually in the midst of a long homestand here, a very long homestand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're in the midst of an 8-game homestand right now. And so far, they're 1-1. They lost to Chicago, but they beat Tampa Bay, the 2 teams that met for the Stanley Cup in 2015, don't you know? Detroit coming up next, and then they got Anaheim coming in. Then they got Dallas coming in, Nashville coming in, Chicago coming in on the 21st, and they round out the homestand, by the way, on the 27th against the LA Kings. So, man, oh man, MF. This is another team that I hope we get to see in the playoffs. Devan Dubnyk. I'm going to tell you right now, and I want to be on the record for this.
Okay.
Devan Dubnyk's winning the Vezina Trophy this year. I don't care what anybody
I think so too. Yeah, I think him, and right now I'm even gonna go as far to say I'm also loving the San Jose Sharks one, Matt Jones. I think these 2 guys right now have been really playing unbelievable hockey. They're going to be right there for the mix. I think Matt Jones probably won't win it. Dubnyk right now is definitely the front runner, but then again, you can't also discount. Well, I'll get there. I'm going to say my ammo yet, but I'm going to hold my thought.
Fair enough. 29 wins, goals against of 199, 5 shutouts. If that's not enough for a Vezina, I don't know what is. That's a Vezina Trophy resume. I don't care what anybody says. Granlund, 33 assists. Nino Niederreiter leads the team with 17 goals. Eric Stahl, you remember from Carolina, and then briefly when he was with us, MF, with the Rangers. I mean, Parise, one of our old enemies from New Jersey. He's having a solid year. This young team, top to bottom, is a damn good young team. And for all you folks up there in Minnesota, get excited. Because, when it comes to the city of Minnesota, they've only celebrated, 2 World Series championships in 1987 and 1991. Timberwolves have never made it to the finals. Vikings, they've been to the Super Bowl, but they never won it. And it's been 25 plus years since Minnesota has celebrated a major championship. There's no doubt in my mind that if this team keeps doing what they're doing, especially Dubnyk, I have no doubt in my mind this team has what it takes to win, to not only get to the finals, but I think this team has what it takes to win the whole damn thing. That is how good this team is. I am very high on the Minnesota Wild. And there's a beautiful young lady who works for the NHL Network by the name of Jamie Hirsch. She hosts their nighttime program On the Fly. She's from Minnesota, and this baby girl, I gotta tell you, she is, I'm sure, excited as all the other Minnesota fans are, because I think this is the best case. This is the best chance for a winner right here. Minnesota North Stars. They went to the finals in 1981 and 1991. Islanders and the Penguins, respectively. But this Minnesota Wild team, watch out for them. And I hope we get a chance to see these guys come playoff time, MF, because we're going to have a lot of fun working those games. Trust me. But you do make a case about Matt Jones, though, when it comes to the what was that? The Vezina. Yeah, solid numbers for him too. But in my honest opinion, I think it's Martin Jones, not Matt Jones. 2.30 goals against, 915 save percentage, 2 shutouts, 27 wins. That's a good case, but if it was up to me, I would say Dubnyk is the front runner as of right now when it comes to the Vezina. Such a fun team to watch, and I hope, and I'm rooting for this team. I would love to see this team go far, and I think they have what it takes to make it far. No question. Number 2, Minnesota Wild. MF, I know you got to agree with that.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Number 2 is definitely the Minnesota Wild. I got no arguments here. Number 1, where this was going to be going, but throw the boobers again. Another team we don't, as Ranger fans, we don't care about, we despise. But to one of my good friends, to Pops Anderson, this is for you, my friend, because I know you're a big fan of them. The right now, the current President's Trophy leading best team in the National Hockey League right now. 8-2 in the last 10, winners of 5 in a row, including a 6-3 wipeout of the Detroit Red Wings. It's the Washington Capitals. I mean, what is there to say? I mean, you got Alexander the Great, or the great number 8, Alex the Great, Alexander Ovechkin. You got Mike Green. You got TJ Yoshi. You got, there's so many guys that we could talk about. We got an unbelievable player in Brandon Hope. That's another guy that I think is in at least in the Vezina chatter. I don't think he's going to win it, but he's at least in the conversation for the Vezina. And there's really nothing more to say. This team has been unbelievable this year. But again, great regular season team. They just don't. The biggest Achilles heel that they have is, can they put it all together in the postseason? They've always had this great run during the regular season. Can they put it all together when it matters the most? Getting the 16 wins to hoist undoubtedly one of the most hardest trophies to win in all sports. We'll see. But right now, they are the top dogs. They're number 1, the Washington Capitals. And yes, boo them one more time for me, please.
Ooh. That's the Roman Reigns, John Cena, Bautista treatment there. But yes, I agree with you, MF. It is the Washington Capitals. They are number 1. Holtby makes a case for Vezina as well. 28 wins, 197 goals against, save percentage of 928, 7 shutouts. He leads the league in shutouts with 7. They're first in goals allowed, second in goals scored, and they're third in penalty kill. Oh, by the way, they're also 6th in power play percentage. Yeesh. If that's not a number 1 team, I don't know what is. 5 in a row against the likes of, get this lineup: Boston Bruins, Montreal Canadiens in Montreal, Los Angeles Kings, a former Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes, former Stanley Cup champion, Detroit Red Wings, former Stanley Cup champion. All of them former Stanley Cup champions, actually, but LA the most recent, 2014, and Carolina in 06, and Detroit in 08. Boston in 11, I should say, and then Montreal, their last one, of course, was 93. So Anaheim next up on them Saturday, today. And then they're off until next Saturday when they go to Detroit against the Red Wings. And then, of course, MF, circle the 19th on your calendar. the NHL game of the week, Sunday game of the week in Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. Major implications, you know that. Wednesday night rivalry against Philadelphia on the 22nd, and then on the 24th, Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers come to town. Oh boy, that's going to be fun. Like MF said, great regular season team. They just can't get it done in the postseason. They're the best team that has yet to win the Stanley Cup. Them and the San Jose Sharks. Two best teams to never win the Stanley Cup. I hope we don't end up having to face them, because if we end up facing them, we're not going to make it. There's no way we can beat them. East is wide open because the Metropolitan Division is the best division in all of hockey, with Washington, Pittsburgh, Columbus, the Rangers, and all that. Every team's over 500. That's how good that. Even the last place team's over 500. New Jersey, or Carolina rather. But Washington, though, with Ovechkin and Oshie and Green and Backstrom, and this team is scary. Backstrom has 57 points. Ovechkin 26 goals. Backstrom has 41 assists. Oshie 22 goals. I mean, Opie with 28 wins. Their backup's even very good. Philippe Grubauer, 10-3 with a 198 goals against and 3 shutouts with a save percentage of .931. I think we could be looking at the Jennings winner here, because whoever has like the best aggregate goals against average, that team wins the Jennings Trophy. And I think the Washington Capitals are going to get. I think Opie and Grubauer are going to get that Jennings Award, no doubt about it. So Ovechkin making another case for MVP, no doubt about it. Backstrom, you can make an argument for him. And this is a scary team with top to bottom. And we're going to see them in April. And who knows, MF, we'll probably see a game or two from these guys come playoff times. So, all right. So that'll do it for this. So, number one, Washington Capitals. So that will put the bow on this edition of Strictly Sports. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Of course, special shout outs to all of our friends and viewers out there who continue to make our shows what they are. Best fans in the world as always. Special shout out to Dee Dee Woodson, Kevin Woodson and the Woodson family, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonball, Daniel Latrobe in the UK, our other First Ladies, Kaiser Butler, Megan Silva, and Lexi Calloway, our other friends, let me see, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Alvarez, and Rob Parsons, all of, and of course, Derek Ferreira, Michael Bullock, and MF, who, what a trooper. I mean, I got to give a major shout out to MF. I mean, to get through that show the way he did. So credit to him. Hopefully he'll be ready to go for Sunday for the recap. And all of our personalities from 6, 10, and 12, our friends from the Road Show, Lindsay McCormick, Status Sorrell, all of them. And of course, my church family, the Oasis of Grace Ministries on 464 Silver Spring Street. Be seeing them Sunday for the big fellowship and the whole 9 yards. Looking forward to it. Need a church home. Check them out, exit 25 on Route 95. And 10 a.m. service. And then the luncheon after. Bible study Wednesday at 7. Other things. And that's it. So tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, myself and Bullock will have the preview of the Elimination Chamber. And then Sunday night, MF will host the recap, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be better by then. And then Monday night, Ridiculously Raw, Cerebral Smack Talk. And then another edition of Strictly Sports next week. So that'll do it for this. So until tomorrow night for the Elimination Chamber preview show, Danny Floyo here in spirit for good old MF Michael Fletcher, Michael Bullock, Derek Ferreira, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed weekend and a blessed Saturday, rather. And until the chamber preview later on, you've been watching Strictly Sports right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube.com. For now, Anthony Florio. So long.